cause I like to eat the food I kill. Think I won't when I will.
Um, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button for American New Networks on your YouTube and download American New Network on your app store, the television network. And just type in America, type it in you on any app store that you have, your phone, your Roku, your Samsung, your LRG, pause. That's what it is. Uh, you know, and just type in America and you, 2 words. And anything that you see, you can buy it. So if you want the glasses, if you want the pause button, the CEO button,
Pause. How can a man call another man? Oh, that's my boss. We don't do that.
and Nike vest, just press the shop button, and be good money. So today on Bosses Take Losses, I wanted to talk about lawyers. And, if you're going to be in business, unfortunately, if you're doing deals at a certain level, even with AI right now, at some point you're going to need a lawyer. And I need people to understand that a lawyer's job is to get paid for their time. So the longer they work, unless they're on a salary, which is very rare, the longer they work, the more money they make. And, you know, during the holidays, which I enjoyed more than any holiday I've ever had in a long time because I had my whole family with me. And I shot a Christmas special that won't come out on Christmas. It's like the after party or reflecting on it. And we're going to put that out in the next week or two. But I had heard, just in the press that Puff was having a hard time and that he didn't want to speak to his lawyers anymore. Now, I don't know if any of that is true. There's no proof of that. And it's hard to believe everything that you hear or see on like TikTok or social media or even in the news. But I started to think about how I would be feeling because, I'm not in that man's pockets, but I've gone through lawsuits, so I know how much they cost. And if he's sitting in the cell with a lawyer and lawyers that he's probably spending millions of dollars on, I would suspect, just based on my experience. Those lawyers at that level, they'll cost $1,000 an hour and they charge you for every single second. And then they also hire other lawyers to be there, just to hire. And I've been through these situations where a lawyer brings another lawyer, and I'm like, I don't like this lawyer because I don't need him. And then they put them on the bill, and I'm held accountable for it. It's crazy. But if I was sitting in a jail cell, spending millions of dollars a month on lawyers, next to someone that's not spending anything, that has a legal aid, and we're in the same place, that would bother me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because any lawyer at that level, and this is for Jay's case and Puff's case, they've been to court a lot. More than likely, hundreds and hundreds of times. And they're around people that have been around hundreds, just a lot. So it's like a behavior pattern, the algorithm. You know exactly usually what's going to happen when you file certain motions. So if you remember, I guess a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, they're going to try to get it thrown out. That doesn't work like that. They got to go through discovery. They got to go through deposition. I know it, and I said, I was like, it never works out for the throwing it out of court. So a lawyer, before they file something for you, generally knows if it's going to work or not. But because you're in an emotional place and you might be sending orders, they just do whatever you say. But no lawyer could tell you, well, it might not work. And if it doesn't work, you don't have to pay me for it. The advice is usually to do the most filing, the most motions. And again, when you're filing a motion, you usually know based on the amount of time you've been to court what's going to make a judge mad, what's going to work, and what's not going to work. So a lot of what I'm seeing when I see all these different motions and I see all these different, trying to get things dismissed and all these bails. I mean, maybe not the bail because I haven't been in that situation so much. But in general, a lot of things have not been working, and I highly doubt that the lawyers that filed those things thought they were going to work. I highly doubt they told their clients that it's a 75% chance that this is 85, 88, 99% chance that this motion to get dismissed will not work. Now, the only other excuse for doing certain things would be for narrative, so people think you're winning. Like, when, a judge says you're allowed to, file a motion to dismiss. Yeah, that's your constitutional right. Of course you can do that. A judge can't say no to that. So, you might want people that think they caught a W or the public, but that ain't a W. It's just another cost. So to me, in my experience, there's been this unwritten, unspoken law that two lawyers that are going against each other, they both know to waste as much time as possible because that's how they get paid. If you end the case quick, the lawyer doesn't get paid. Now, in my situation, it's been all lawyers that, to me, have been fucking me over. Pause. Like, when I want to, in this moment, get into the personal stuff with the child support, but like how one lawyer represents both of my baby mothers and, use knowing information about one to do other things with the other, allegedly. And even, there was something in the press, and I told y'all, because this lawyer and the group of people that sued me, the lawyer, Chris Brown, brought my interest to auction and did not get paid. He didn't make $1. And I said, because he didn't make $1, number one, and again, this is just me. Either he's the stupidest lawyer in the whole world to take all that time, spend it, do all that rest, walk around telling people I'm a guy taking dang stuff to auction and not make $1, not get any money back. So knowing that you're not going to make any money back, why would you still push it to auction? You're not going to make any money. Just to harass me? And to me, there's going to be, and I told y'all this, a bunch of, I suspect, looking to do some other stupid ass case, retaliatory, and now he's chasing things or putting things in, filing things just for public perception. Like, anything I'm wearing, it'll go to auction. But knowing that if it goes to auction, that the state is owed $8 million or now $77.3 million and child support. So, regardless of what you bring to market to sell, you're not going to get it. So what's the purpose of it other than to harass them? And legally, I don't know if that's legal, but these are the type of things a lawyer does. Like solicit his service for free to take someone to court. Now, I'm not saying allegedly, just for the sole purpose of harassing that person. Because if you know they got the money to pay it, why would you go through 3 years of a court proceeding, motions, depositions, all of this stuff, knowing you're not going to get paid, knowing that other people are owed before you, if it's not just for the purpose of harassment? Period. So, for everyone, lesson of the day, if you're in business and you have a lawyer, your lawyer is the one that you have to watch the most. When they get on the phone with you and start talking about how they took their son to soccer practice, they're charging you for that. Any conversation, every second that you spend, what they have is a little timer. They press that timer, they don't tell you, and they charge you for every second. And then generally they don't send you a bill till they did all the work. They don't tell you how much things cost before they do it for you. If you give them a retainer and let's say it's 10 grand just to save it like 25 a million, after you burnt past the retainer, they don't tell you burnt past the retainer. Everything else is more. They just give you a bill for 100, 200 grand. So if you remember, I was always saying, I'm like, yo, this is like, I went through 4 trials collectively and they won $800,000 for this defamation charge. 800 grand under a mate. Now, I'm not counting nobody's pockets, but I'm looking at all the things that are done. I guarantee you that each one of these cases that are public are costing $1 million a month. So my point was, with all that work, didn't even win the legal fees. So what's the purpose of doing it? And how is that even legal? I mean, to me, just the same way accountants aren't held accountable for not paying your taxes. These are all things that might not resonate with you if you don't have an accountant, you don't have to pay a certain amount of taxes, and you don't have to have lawyers. But if you plan on getting into professional business, you're going to have to deal with lawyers, you're going to have to deal with taxes, you're going to have to deal with accountants. You're just going to have to deal with it. So, I'm hoping that people don't just come to this show, Bosses Take Losses, to hear me talk about whatever cases are going on. It's really to learn from my experiences so that you don't have to go through what I have to go through. And I'm lucky to be able to learn from life relatively young. Life has been my school. My course in business was being in business. I never got the opportunity to get warned or to get any kind of mentorship, any teaching about how to do business other than the street. But if we're looking at what I'm doing right now in this very moment, the verticals are now being stimulated. Pause. American Noon is past 100,000. I'm not even going to speak on how many we got till we get to $150 or 200,000. We got work to do. And as you see every week, I'm giving you a different article of clothing. And I told you I was going to start the clothing vertical. So this is the CEO Anunnaki vest, and you can press the shop button and buy it. But I'm continuing to give you more motion. And I talked a lot about starting from scratch. Yes. You gotta, when you start from scratch, you gotta have motion. Every second, you gotta be doing what you love as it relates to your dream. You have to build your brand. And you can't build your brand overnight. But once you build your brand, you also have to be savvy in marketing it and having it available for people to buy. Having the distribution is important. Having the sales team is important. Being able to make samples is important. So at Mockware, we were spending, $40 million a year, millions of dollars a year in developing clothes. It was all about getting that one rack of clothes that you could go to a trade show with and pre-sell to all retailers, and then you make your order based on what the retailers are. But it will only get that rack of clothes. But what I've been able to do without all the staff and crew, which is me and Nicolette Raquel and the people that do everything, and the right partners with Athletics and different people, I've been able to develop that rack of clothes that I can go sell at a trade show at Bali. I've been able because I know how to design, I know and have people around me that know how to make cans, we know how to build a tech bag, and then here comes my mess. So as I was saying, and again, we kept Baby Dusko with us. He went to Hillsborough School today, but Bam was gonna pull up and either teach him some skating. We're gonna go to a skate shop, hit him a skateboard, and also, we'll film it. And he's gonna wear his damn Nike. It's cold out here in Florida. It's like 40 degrees. It's not usually like that, but that's why I got my Anunnaki pest when it gets cold. You know, throw a little thermal on. Got the sweats. Wow, I gotta get better make the scully or the ski hat. But anyway, what I was saying is understanding that I'm putting these verticals out there, stimulated. And you have American New, we have the clothing, and we also have uh the linear distribution now with BET. We're playing The Prince of Detroit on BET September 23rd. Sorry, January 23rd. We didn't do that. And they're over. You're like, no, what you getting away? My bad. January 23rd. It's in 3 weeks. And we're going to do some marketing, whatever's going to push the needle. And then what we're doing now, because at the beginning of the year, I do what I call a vision board. And number one, I look at all the things I want to buy. And then I look at all the things I got to do to be able to buy it as far as business. And then how much of all those things I have to sell to make enough money to buy what I want to buy and maintain it, have enough to buy things and invest. It's really making a business plan. So right now, again, another lesson of the day is a business plan. This is my version of a business plan. So I have America New. I think about how many subscribers or downloads I need to have and how much engagement I need to have to make a certain amount of money. I try to know how much money I'm going to make for the whole year and how much engagement I need. So every month I'll be looking at that engagement and figuring out how to get to that engagement. So this month this doesn't work, something else got to it. This does work, I'll do more of it. When it comes to the clothes, we'll do 6 deliveries this year, 2 deliveries every other month, rather. So that's 6 deliveries every other month where we get everything in order. And we'll know how much of each clothes, how much it costs to make each product, how much margin we'll make when we sell it, and how much of each size, not size, but like how much of each color, how much of each category we have to sell per delivery to make a certain amount. And touring, same thing. And then we have to schedule what we're going to shoot for the year. So every 3 months, every quarter, I have to have for me about right now, it's, OG stories. It's Honor Up television show, Prince of Detroit television show, and Paid in Full, my version of Paid in Full TV show. So I have to break that up within the year, and also the EVS Boys TV show. That's what I'm working on this year. So I have to break up when I want to shoot those things, how many of those things I want to shoot, and how I'm going to do it. And then I got to get crewed up. And then, so on and so forth, how to monetize, how the company will monetize. So that's the production vertical. Then there's a music vertical. So we're doing something interesting. I think we're going through it now. But we're going to put the Freeway Project out on Even. It's a new sort of a thing where you talk directly to the community and to cool people who have done some cool shit there. And it's basically the way I thought things should be done anyway, and they got to go. So it's a cool thing, and that's going to come out, I think, January 24th. So January 23rd, The Prince of Detroit. January 24th, if you're in the know, the Black Guns and Freeway Project. And, that should be interesting. But again, January first quarter, Anunnaki, Vertical comes out with the clothes. The Prince of Detroit comes out with the movies. And we'll be shooting in February, January, the editing. And what I'm doing is going over my process. It's a lot of moving parts. And again, this is bosses take losses. I'm telling you what boss thoughts look like, you know, and this is what I'm doing. So if I could make, if you have 8 verticals, because then also we had Hacklefish. Rocky has an album, or rather the Applefish album, the Dusko Goes to movie, and then we have Dusko Goes to see book. You know, that's a whole thing. And then the Applefish content. So again, that's actually so I have to break down when we're going to shoot all those things for the network, all those things that are going to be on that year, tour, roll out the book, make the clothing. You know, that's motion. And again, still completely independently funded. So I don't even think I was doing this well back in the day. I didn't have a handle on things the way I did. I had too many partners, too many people doing jobs I didn't need them to do. And, I didn't know how to do a lot of things. So once I got conscious of the things other people were doing and what they were charging me for, I was like, yo, I could do this myself. Certain things, not everything. So I'm not going to say ever I could shoot this on my own. I mean, I got to have a DP. I got to pull up my man Josh right here. And you need the cameras. And, I can't do IG stories of myself or get coverage. But she's going to, even though she's an artist, and I'm like, oh, that's too controlling. That's too. So we had a Nicolette there now, Bob. And then, I also need to make sure that we get the content for Baby Dusko. So before we shot this, we shot another show, our version of it, our reality show in Love for a Living, which is coming soon. And we shot Applefish content as well. And we had it all when we shoot. And then after this, we're going to meet up with Bam, go to the skate shop, and go to the skate park. And, again, Baby Dusko's going to be able to be taught how to skateboard from Bam, from Jackass, So, another thing I wanted to talk about today for business is emotional intelligence. It's almost impossible to deal with a lot of people at the level of, let's say, authority or having to tell people how to do things or just helping people without a level of emotional intelligence. If I was having a conversation with Dennis McKeezy, Dr. Dennis McKeezy from the OSG, and this is the reason why I like to talk to intelligent people that can teach me something, or, once I talk to them and I get off the phone, I'm actually better. I can identify things that I couldn't articulate before. And we were talking, and he was like, that's why you have to have emotional intelligence. And I'm like, that's the word. That's it. It's emotional intelligence. Now, let me give you an example. When you're talking to people and you know that person, 9 times out of 10, that person will overreact to things, if they'll get too nervous. If they'll get mad, you'll know if they'll react in a positive way. You know that person. And a lot of times you might know that certain things you say might, affect them negatively, and it bothers you so much that it triggers you, and now you're in a place of emotion. Knowing that person reacts like that every single time, but it still bothers you every time. Emotional intelligence is knowing when to tell that person, how to tell that person, and to know not to get upset when they react a certain way. There are people in my life that before I talk to them, I have to talk to a therapist. Not only so I know how to talk to them without triggering them, but so how I can pause, receive what they're saying without it triggering me. I hate having a conversation trying to help somebody and I get off the phone mad. And I get off the phone disturbed, and I need more therapy just giving somebody therapy because they just made me upset. So for me, knowing strategically that certain things bother me and that certain things bother other people, I would get a professional and be like, yo, how do I talk to this person? And why are they acting that way? So once you know why someone's acting a certain way, it doesn't bother you as much. Because it's usually, when it's negative, it's coming from a place of pain. Pause. Some kind of trauma that's happening in your life that they haven't got over then. And when you internalize, and this is all therapy talk, when you internalize things, it makes you overreact to other things. People get yelled at that don't deserve it over stupid shit. So sometimes someone might just, bug out on me, and I'm like, oh, I got to think about the fact that they were mad about something else that they didn't even say nothing about. And how they want. You have to know these things so you're not so offending. So when you're in business, having emotional intelligence is really important. Knowing how to deal with people. So the thing about therapy, and this is also the thing about life, to get a person that doesn't communicate to communicate, you have to get dark before you get light. You almost have to trigger somebody, get them emotional. This is therapy. When you walk into therapy and you have a lot of things to unpack, you have to know you're about to be uncomfortable. You're going to be dark. You're going to get upset. You're going to be visibly bothered, triggered. And then that's the way you start to communicate. Now, I don't like that process. I don't like to be mad to talk. I don't like that to blow my nose and face all swollen just to get my or be mad. I don't like any of those things. So what I try to do is communicate while I'm not dark. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it takes emotional intelligence. It takes emotional intelligence to be able to recognize people saying things that will trigger you. It takes emotional intelligence to be able to know when you're triggered and know how to walk yourself off the ledge. It takes emotional intelligence to feel like you want to express something, but know that because it'll make someone else feel bad in that time, to say, I'm going to say it later. It takes emotional intelligence to have something important that you might not want people to know, not to tell somebody, or that you can tell somebody, knowing that they have the ability to either not say what you spoke about, or they don't have the ability because they talk to you about everything other people's business. All of that to me is emotional intelligence and very important. And Bam is coming, and we're going to shoot. And I want to ask him some questions. So, this is my man Bam. Pause. I had a pause button. I guess said pause.
Pause. How can a man call another man?
And I was sent a clip. I actually saw it of Lil Uzi talking about his fashion inspiration. He said it was Bam, and I'm like, oh, I was going to that game. Definitely, you had the purple Lamborghini. You were doing it.
PA Westchester Bam. Underrated like fuck. I just tried to buy his house, not from him, not saying he's selling it, but I was looking it up, and I don't even think it's for sale. Like, I just wanted it. Whoa, underrated. That's Don Vito, Phil. What? He the reason why everybody look the way they look. Bam, man. He the reason why my hat look like this right now, if you want me to be real. Shout out to him.
And I was like, well, of course, I have access to Bam. I thought it would be a flex to just say, well, if this was the inspiration, then he's the inspiration of the younger generation. It would make sense that we know each other. And we got cool. The friend was like, why the fuck is Dane cool with Bam? Well, we were in an insane asylum for about 2 or 3 weeks. And, it was like doing a bid. And we had a good time. Me and my brothers, my 2 brothers, Michael and Dina Lohan, and you would think those are like the bad kids in any class. But we worked it out, and we had a good time, and we remained cool. But what I wanted to talk to you about, because when he pulled up, because today his crew came in from Argentina, Vice, and we're going to go to the skate park and all that, but he did some art for me. And it says,
yeah, so I had 300 paintings that I had in my house. I drove down to U-Haul, had an art show at Ybor, and made this for Dame. Be fly or get flown over.
Now, I love that saying, and I'm putting that into my vernacular, pause. And, the fact that you are that fly guy, did you realize that you've influenced hip-hop and urban culture?
I love that.
But did you know that?
I see sometimes people like rocking my style, like to have a certain way, and then if they
He said, I'm wearing this hat right here.
yeah,
Probably because Bam had something similar to that.
well, Philly represent. Hell yeah. And I was the first skateboarder to ever ride for Nike. When I was 16 years old, we had these weird ass models of shoes that nobody was into. And then when they turned it to Nike SB, it kind of blew up. But, back then to ride for Nike was a really weird thing. Remy Stratton from Volcom became the tour manager and hooked me up first with Choppy Omega and a couple other Sergio Ventura.
Well, my other son Boogie and Ava learned how to surf. Tony Alva caught him on the first.
Oh, right.
That's it. On my pole, like, we used to hang out and shit. For some reason, I started kicking it with the fly skateboarders. I don't know. We end up being cool or some shit. Man.
I mean, like I grew up with nothing. I grew up across the street from a sewer factory, and I was not very popular in school. I quit the first day in 10th grade, and I made my own video called CKY, which was Jackass before Jackass. It was pro skate tricks mixed with silly stunts and skits, and when my uncles came in who work at an auto body shop, started laughing their ass off watching it, I realized it had a bigger audience than just skateboarders. So from there, I knew that it was going to hopefully be popular. So through word of mouth, it sold over 1 million copies. And I've not put one ad out. And I was mom and pop skate shops and then people talking about it.
And you would not you.
So when it sold 1 million copies just through mom and pop skate shops, they saw it. And I got a phone call from Jeff Tremaine, Spike Jones, and Johnny Knoxville. They said, "Do you want to be on an MTV show called Jackass?" I said, "Hell yeah!" And he's like, "Can we use your footage for the first CKY video?" I was like, "You can do whatever you."
So Jackass is basically happened because of your show.
Yeah, for CKY, first shit, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And that was when I was 16.
So you do know that like all the like jokes and TikTok shit that they do now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically the originator of this shit.
Hell yeah! I like this is stuff that we started doing, and now that there's YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that, it's basically I'm just watching all the things I did, like getting into a shopping cart, getting pushed full speed into a picker bush, all kinds of things like that. But I mean, then we started stepping it up a notch, ripping my buddy's tooth out with my Lamborghini because we had a good budget. I have $300,000 a month for 65 weeks straight to spend on blowing shit off, flying people in, flying people out.
So on this is a black people question. Did that shit hurt? Like getting your shit pulled out with no Novocaine?
Hell yeah, it hurts because that's why, it was a real problem. Most of us went to rehab when, it was legal when the Jackass too. And you look like we're 20 years old, like, yeah, but when you're 40, it's like, dude, grow up. And I get it.
Like, Al, you healing, you got to take the pills and all that shit.
Now, how are you going to do a shopping cart off the roof into a pricker bush without a shot of Crown Royal? You need some beer muscles and liquid courage, you know what I'm saying? But to balance on the skate floor is very hard to do when you're drunk. So it's, luckily Jackass stunts are a first take Jake if you have the fucking balls to do it.
So for all the younger people out there, do know if you're having fun now that it's going to hurt later.
Absolutely false. I will sum it up for you. 16 staples in the hand, broken clown and gold, 8 broken ribs, 4 broken ribs, 15 broken wrists, 8 broken wrists, tailbone, which sucks. And fucking all the hands, but foot 3 times, 1 over here.
See, for me, after the first time, I'd have been it. Because it's not the break, or that hurts, but the healing of it.
Hell yeah.
It's like that. And then watching, but that's all part of the game.
It is, because if you think about it, I mean, football's gnarly and so is motocross, but you're practicing a foam pin till you wire it. Skateboarding is the most dangerous sport there is. There's so many ways to get injured. You can knock yourself out on the loop. You could fucking nut your sack on a handrail. You could hit your back on the back of the ledge. You could hit traffic. People bomb those hills in San Francisco. They don't give a fuck about a red light.
So now you're a vintage rock star like me.
Yeah.
And what does life look like for a vintage rock star?
I'm kind of, if you don't know, I did the Guinness Book of World Records longest Florida shuffle. Now, if you don't know what that means, it means that when you get 5150 in Florida, you have to do 90 days. So if the interventionist knows that you have good insurance, which I did, they find fucking reasons to keep you there. So on the 88th day, I'm like, 90 days. I get out in 2 days, can't fucking wait. Then he walk in, you've been rocking those same pants for like 3 days now. I'm like, yeah, trying to get a pussy around here. I don't give a little fuck. And then he's like, that's bad ID. You're doing another 9 days in another place. I said, And to have a new therapist 13 fucking times because I was in 13 different treatment centers at 90 days apiece, plus 2 mental institutions.
That's the new.
They had $660,000, $1,300 a night.
Did it help? Hell no, it didn't help because I went in against my will, sabotaged, and I was just like,
So what do I have to do today?
well, you have to take 8 classes to learn that alcohol's bad and it's not any good. I'm like, why are the airlines? You go back. I mean, you know, they say you're fucking glad. So with no jokes, yeah. So it was learned today. I learned that alcohol's good. That's all it's bad. You can't smoke weed. No. So what are you gonna do when you get out? I'm gonna sip on a White Claw because fuck you guys, you know. But then I met Danny and told him you're gonna sip on a White Claw. Yeah, because fuck you. I know alcohol's bad and it's not any good. What's new? What do you want to do when you get out? I want to drink because you sat on me in here and I'll show you. You're like, so you don't want to eat there. I'll show it and everybody. And it's great. And was it like a luxury facility? What was it like?
Well, some of them were different. I got to go around to 13 different places, yeah. And I could not get out for by any means, man. They have you in there. It's called a shuffle and it's real.
Damn. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And like every time you go to a different place, you have to get cool with everyone that's there that's going through the same thing. Did you make like
Yeah, you make friends, you know, a bunch of friends. And if you want to be left alone, there's ways to do it. But, you know, all of them are really different as a matter of this motherfucker. Here's like a guy you would have if you had, yo, Ben, you're from Philadelphia? Yeah. Well, I'm your roommate, Kyle. You ever in North Delaware? Yeah, that's about 15 minutes away from me. You know that 7-Eleven? I don't know, Kyle, maybe. Well, I used to run the bike pass there. Great story, Kyle. Can you tell me that one again? Jesus, tag to Christ. I got to live with you for 90 days? God damn.
so what did you do to pass the time?
Well, they don't really let you have the internet. I drew a lot of pictures. And then, yeah, and most of it is collected from all over the world, like Iceland, Finland, Spain, but a lot from treatment.
So let's cut this thing a little more fun.
Yeah.
What was when you bought that Lamborghini? What made you get the color? Where did you buy it from? Was it your first Lamborghini? Tell me about some expensive fly shit that you bought.
Okay, so well, I mean, when Tony Hawk put me in his first video game, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, it did so well that I got a red Ferrari Medina when I was 18. Boom, and then
What was that like driving around with everybody was in the counter just on you, right?
oh yeah, because from there I got a purple Lamborghini Gallardo, a blue Murcielago Lamborghini, and then a black Audi R8, silver Porsche Panamera, a fucking DeLorean, a 1929 Mercedes, an Audi R8, and 2 Hummers and a Range Rover Shadow. There was a lot of cars and everybody.
Yeah, pictures of them, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they'd all been wrecked by not me, my dumb friends.
And I got a lot. My son Bobby wrecked all of our. He wrecked like 3 cars in my son. I did it, didn't he? That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, you know, like I never wrecked any light cars, but they're all gone because of my friends.
And we still create that Uzi was talking about.
Castle Man.
Castle Man.
Yeah, so it's all skate park driveway at the back skating park, and it was a recording studio for the longest time when my brother was living in there when I was in treatment, and we had Prince's soundboard. Yeah, so my buddy Fireball Jim from a band called Fireball Miniature works for Dave Roll's studio in California called Studio City. He's like, Bam, called up my brother. He's like, yo, they're clearing out Paisley Park when Prince died. He's like, if you want sound work, you got to get in your car now from Philadelphia to go get it. He's like, I'm on my way.
That's crazy. Have you made the music on there?
They worked with Kill Switch Engage, my brother's band CKY, Clutch, band called Viking Skull, and G Love, you know, and Special Sauce. He's Philly.
And you got a band and all.
Yeah.
What's the band's name?
Fuckface Unstoppable.
Fuckface Unstoppable.
Yeah, and I sing calls like, I would offend my dick to my ass so I can fuck myself. Would offend my dick around the back of my ass and I go on myself. Oh, hell no. I think it's what I'm doing. So it's something that I get it. Yo, Bam has lost his mind. He wants to bake this thing right about his head. I'm like, it's a joke, you hee-haw eggs.
Just gotta say, well, What kind of hot air buffoon think he can bend his dick around the back of his ass? Well, there was one person at a Comic-Con that did it. What? You're like, bam, I got my port. He gets up, bends his pants down, bends his dick. This guy's like, it's possible. I got a 2-inch hose. What the fuck's gonna go off that? So, so I was thinking about going on tour, with your band, and our band, the Black Guns, with Freeway, and maybe do a show. You were saying that you perform could be like 5,000-6,000 people.
Yeah, Europe, it's real big. We did a whole world tour to and Australia, and it's mostly, you know, rock and roll, but we do that one funny song with some dubstep in it.
Oh yeah,
The one I was just telling you about. Back the field, I'm bending the pump from the back of the head. That time.
yeah. Are you making any music?
Yeah, I've been working with the band from Puerto Rico called Amor as a Nom. It's really rad goth rock, and this legend Yngwie Malmsteen, one of my favorite guitar players, wants to do a track with us. So we have 3 tracks done with that, and
We got working.
down. Well, they're doing Puerto Rico and then San Stem.
You should tell them, because I'm about to get this. I'm gonna bring my gear back from Wyoming, and this farm. I'm just gonna set the studio up, and that's what I do. I like make the project, then I take the making of the project, and really it's just to go do a show and have assets and just be rock star.
How Eric, we're doing a half pipe back there. You said you got what?
And what? Tell me, Terry Birds, you have time? It's 25. 25. If you have time, I'll take you over there, because I'm just gonna start it on the end of January, because I gotta shoot a bunch of TV shows, Rocky does like shows and stuff, and then I need to make music.
Isn't Kanye the neighbor up there in Wyoming?
Yeah. He was, until I knew thing. So that's what happened. I was working with him, and I was on his ranch, but he had a lot of rules on his ranch.
Okay.
One being because he was still married, he didn't like any women.
Mm.
And I don't like being around a lot of dudes.
Right.
So it was like, if I'm gonna be working with you, the family needs their own ranch that's around, it's like 30 minutes away. So we got the ranch, for the sole purpose of business, and did it all over. It's really nice. Like, we didn't even get to finish this script. We were at the other crib. We just had to come here Sunday because Rocky's grandmom had died. So, and I put do the studio and all that. But then as soon as I did all that and fixed it, he moved up. And those things was like knocking down all the buildings.
Okay.
I got 25 acres out there. He had 4,000. He has 4,000. So it was a completely different thing.
God damn.
Yeah. It's usually with some big shit. Some of them, made sneakers and we had.
Yeah.
I'm generating and all that.
Speaking of sneakers, you're making some over here, right?
I mean, these are different there. These are the CEO joints, and also they're in the family book. If you want, you could. I'm making this into a movie. You should start at it with me. If you want.
You can skate and
Yeah, we can make some shit. No, darn, good for skating night, see?
Yeah, it is. These are the skate sneakers. You know what this means, right?
No.
That's the pause button. Not button, because I'm keyboard.
Yeah.
So that's the download pause by Gas CEOs. There's a more of a Nike Air bottom, but it has like the Macago top.
Yeah.
See, it's like a 3/4. I'm gonna make high top ones, low top ones, but we can definitely go on it.
Mhm.
If you want to do them, but I'm definitely get
I have all kinds of ideas with this hardware, it's like make some fucking pillows and the road just like how you got.
like,
Oh, that's dope.
it's all about the vertical. So what you do is like bam, pause. And we'll wrap it up with this. So like, hey, can you pass me that piece of paper with the octopus on it? So this is my thinking. This is how we do our business. I made this with Rocky yesterday because it was something to shit going on. So let's say it's an apple fish. This is the kid shit, at least would be been. These are the different verticals and businesses that will generate income by being thing. So like for you, it'll be like band, like skateboards, TV show, movie, toys, books, music. Like I got animation, movie. So it's always 8 legs. Yeah. And each one of those things generates income. And one fucks up, you cut off the leg and it'll go back. But the thing about an octopus is each leg has its own brain. So once you get them going, you have to get somebody to run each vertical. And then I make a table of content. And then each page for each vertical, I have a page that says what we need. So this is the books. Just because we have 2 books.
we have 4 folks are calling, blah, blah, blah. We have a deal with education, a major deal. We need to do a launch party for all of them, dates to launch, so on and so forth. And then you do that for each one of them, and then they all become a business within themselves.
Our winner,
You gotta make money though.
our wizard, you make up that octopus everyday thing. Did you invent that idea?
It's fine. Like Sam, I was trying to figure out how I got with this octopus thing. Somebody had to have taught it to me. I just can't remember who. But I got a pause. I got an octopus on my thigh. Made out shit. But I have an octopus on my thigh. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. But so that's what we could do a session like that. I do it with my kids. I do it with everybody.
Yeah.
And then I just start stimulating the vertical. The good thing is, like most of the verticals that I'm doing, you would probably do like the clothes, the music, and all that. So you do what's called collective economics. When you do things together, it's cheaper. It's almost like when you buy drugs, you buy one. If you buy one bird, it costs 40. But if you buy 30, they cost 20. You know what I mean? Or
3 girls, 1 boy.
yeah,
That's what they call them long work. Carolyn,
bro. I don't boy and girl. That's I take care. But I call it, I'm saying. But I'm just saying that I was equated as my street knowledge, the way I kind of articulate things. But we should do that.
yeah.
So after this, again, we got my Paul's son. He wants to go skating, and now that I've known that you could break all these bones, I'm so excited to do it. But I would like to figure out a safe version.
Yeah.
But I just think just because dust goes
These
deep,
lads in the helmet are always a good idea.
definitely. But you wear it like that's like corny if you wear it. You cool.
I mean, I call you that unless you're doing I'm a ramp or big vert ramp. Wearing the helmet is pretty much blasphemous for Thrasher magazine.
Right, I got you. So, I mean, I guess we'll start maybe just with the helmet, but when he gets older, if he's gonna do it. See, that's what it is.
Definitely till 14.
When did you start?
I started when I was 6.
Oh, they're at least starting at 4. Now, how far is he gonna be saying, I learned how to skateboard from Dan? Hell to the yeah. You know what I mean? So what you do see is rock stars do hang out, real rock stars, like not the fake pop ones, but the ones that really go through shit. What he just said was a rock star experience, but he just stunned on me and yanked 100 foreigners real fast on me, really fast. And you still got the crib. Don't think you don't. You know what I mean?
Money bag, yo, got it. Ray Cat Local is taking over the industry. Let's go, Heather Wolf.
And also I want to say that you are considered now a black alien. And then I'll give you lightning bro. So you are a bunch of the skate shop, and we're gonna forward to Venezuela crew. Getting all international and all that, and we're gonna take them taping us. Oh, it should be this.